found HMS Terror. 203 years old, it is perfectly preserved in the frigid waters of the Northwest Passage.
I'm Darcy Nelson, deckhand on the Martin Bergman. In this clip, you'll see the capstan, and on the port side, it appears that it still has rope deployed on it. Hello, I'm David McIsaac. I'm master on board the research vessel Martin Bergman, and I'm here today to show you the heart and soul of the HMS Terror, the bell. I'm Master Sergeant Randy Flynn, part of the Royal Canadian Navy, a cook on the Martin Bergman, and this is the hatch leading to the mess hall, and what we do believe is a table on its side.
I am Master Seaman Matthew Briggs. This is an exhaust pipe for the steam engine.
Hello, my name is Simon Cockwick from Joe Haven. I'm the Canadian Ranger 2. 6, 7, 8 years ago, I was on my way to the lake to go put nets out. And when we got to the bay, and when I stopped to check my hunting body, so as I was getting off the snowmobile, I looked at my left, and there was something weird sticking out of the ocean on ice. And I told my hunting buddy, "What is that sticking out of the ice?" And then he didn't know, and I told him, go back on the commodity and let's go see it.
I am Lena Roderman, a student researching the physics of the Arctic Ocean aboard the Martin Bergman. Here we see the bow. You can see the wood planking switching over to the steel ice guard with a large amount of marine life growing.
I am Fed Officer First Class E. Bernard, Navy diver. I was part of the expedition as an ROV pilot and side-scan sonar operator. Currently in front of the ROV console. What you're seeing here is the video display of what we're seeing during the survey, and also we got drawing from HMS Terror, which were used in order to positively identify a key feature to confirm that it was in fact HMS Terror. Here are the first images that we captured on September 3rd at 8:30 in the morning from the sounder of the Martin Bergman and side scan images using our skiff, nicknamed the Dolphin.
I am Dana McIsaac, bridge watchman of the Martin Bergman. Here is the stern. The 4 windows are all here. With one window you can peer inside the captain's quarters.
I'm Gerard Shigley, captain of the Martin Bergman, and here is a picture of the double-wheeled helm.
The long-lost ship, the British polar explorer Sir John Franklin HMS Terra, has been found in pristine condition at the bottom of the Arctic Bay. Researchers have said that the discovery that challenges the accepted history behind one of polar exploration's deepest mysteries. The HMS Terra, Franklin's flagship, HMS Ibris, were abandoned in heavy sea ice far north of the eventual wreck in 1848. During the Royal Navy explorers' doomed attempt to complete the Northwest Passage, 129 men on the Franklin expedition died in the worst disaster in Britain's Royal Navy's worst disaster in its long history of polar exploration, since parties continued to look for the ships for 11 years after they disappeared but found no trace. The fate of the missing men remained an enigma that tantalized generations of historians and archaeologists and adventurers. Now the mystery seems to have been solved by a combination of intrepid exploration and an improbable tip from an Inuit crew member. Here's a map of where it is. It says we found food in the storage and plates with plates and one can on the shelf. We spotted 2 wine bottles, tables, and empty shelving. Found a desk with open drawers and something in the back of one of the drawers. And there it is. I don't know if you can make out this map is kind of pale, but here's Canada, Hudson Bay, and it's to the left of the Hudson Bay. And here's an enlargement of the area here's King William's Island right here, real small, and here it is enlarged. Okay, they found the wreck of the HMS Ibis right here, and then this is the newest one. The HMS Terror was found here on the lower southwest corner of King William Island. And the well-preserved wreck matches the Terror aspects. It lies 60 miles south of where experts had long believed the ship was crushed by ice, and the discovery may force historians to rewrite a chapter of history. The 10-member Bergman crew found the massive shipwreck and her 3 masts broken while standing. Almost all the hatches were closed and everything stowed in the middle of the King William Island uncharted Terror Bay on September 3rd. There's the bell. At first the Terror seemed to be listing at about 45 degrees to starboard on the seabed, but after the 3rd dive with the remotely operated vehicle, we noticed that the wreck was sitting level on the floor bottom, not a list, which means the boat sank gently to the bottom. About 80 feet down, the wreck was in perfect condition, with the metal sheeting that reinforced the hull against sea ice clearly visible amid the swaying kelp. And there's the mast with moss growing on it. A long heavy rope running along through a hole in the ship's deck suggests that the anchor line may have been deployed before the Terror went down. If true, this sets up the tantalizing possibility that British sailors remanned the vessel after she was abandoned at the top of the strait in a desperate attempt to escape south. The ship's bell lay on its side on the deck, close to where the sailor on watch would have swung the clapper to mark the time. The wreck was in such good condition the glass panes were still in 3 of the 4 tall windows in the stern cabin where the ship's commander, Captain Francis Crozier, slept, worked, and the vessel looked like it was buttoned down tight for the winter, and it sank, he said. Everything was shut, even the windows were still intact. If you could lift the boat out of the water to pump the water out, it would probably float. The latest discovery was made 2 years after the Canadian marine archaeologists found the wreck of the Ibris in the same area of the eastern Queen Maud Gulf, where Inuit oral history had long said a large wooden boat sank. The same stories described startled Inuits stumbling upon a large dead man in a dark room on the vessel with a big smile, which suggests it was a rictus smile that the man suffered from scurvy. Parks Canada archaeologists found Ibris standing in just 11 meters of ocean. Sea ice had taken a large bite out of her stern, and more of the century had storm-driven the waves had scattered the trove of artifacts around the site. So far, they've only come up with the cannon, ceramic plate, and other objects. The survivors hoped to follow the river now known as Back River south to safety at the Hudson Bay Company for Trading Company outpost, but none made it. For generations, the accepted historical narrative has described the brutal death march as the Royal Navy members tried to walk out of the Arctic, dying along the way. If you want to listen to this song, just click this link here and you can read along with the lyrics.